And we are live. Can everybody see me and hear me? How are we looking? All right. Looks good on my end. I need to hear from you guys in the stream chat. If you guys can see me and hear me, confirm that we are good to go. All right, cool. Welcome, everybody. We are doing a very late post-game stream for the Browns versus Seahawks game of last night. By the time I was done with the post-game video, it was already late, and I got the sense that nobody was going to be there because everyone would go to bed. I think I made the right call, but we will see. We'll see how things go. So, probably not going to be a super long stream tonight. Probably going to go for about an hour. And then I'm going to head on over to Twitch a little bit later tonight, do some more Dead Rising 2 co-op probably. So, we will be doing more stuff tonight, but this stream will probably only go for like an hour. Going to give people a minute or two to gather up. By the way, the last preseason game is currently on TV. It is the Patriots Commanders game. So watching that in the background. Joe Milton is in the game, so that'll be fun. You know Joe Milton's going to give you a good time. Oh yeah, he's already given me a good time. Now, he just gave the Commanders a good time with that interception, but it's still a good time. There's a flag down, by the way. But anyway, yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about yesterday's game, and probably what's going to happen here is that in the next few days, we're going to start getting some big cut downs. We're going to start getting a bunch of players let go, and we'll probably do another stream to talk about that as that goes on. So obviously that part of the conversation is going to get very intense. There are a lot of players got to go. And, yeah, then we're just basically waiting for the regular season. So, yesterday's game, pretty simple. Seahawks look very good offensively overall. They were able to score with all three quarterbacks in the game. They were able to score with all their different units of offense in the game. So, offensively, it was a very successful day. Very little bad to say there. All three quarterbacks at least looked capable by the standards that we should be holding them to. Geno looked very good. Sam Howell looked okay. And PJ Walker looked like he kind of belonged in the NFL. And that's all you can expect from those guys, I think, individually. Ran the ball pretty well. Offensive line played about as well as you could expect, given the fact they got McClendon Curtis at left tackle. And that's just not a realistic scenario in the regular season, so I'm not really worried about him. Other than that, I thought things looked pretty good. Remember, we had the 80-yard touchdown get taken off the board as well. So that's definitely something that's going to factor into evaluations of these players, even if it doesn't count. So yeah, offensively, really good. Defense, not as good. The starting defense looked fine, but the starting defense only played 6 plays. Obviously, we're holding our breath on Nwosu and Burns a little bit. Burns, by the way, I have a very bad feeling about Burns. That might have been an ACL. It would not shock me if it was. So just going to get out in front of that right now. Artie Burns, we haven't gotten any official update yet, but it does not look good. I am not optimistic about Artie Burns right now. Nwosu, probably less significant. But anyway, defense gave up a lot in this game. They got a lot of QB pressure, but they also committed a lot of penalties. There was some bad tackling for sure. And there was some stuff that didn't go as well as we would have wanted it to go. Pritchett and James both got beat up a little in coverage. Kobe Bryant got beat up bad in coverage. But there was also some really good tackling from those guys as well. DJ James and Nehemiah Pritchett looked much better tackling this week. And overall, most of the guys who gave up a lot of stuff are guys that are not going to be playing very much for us this year, if at all. They may not make the team. So I'm certainly not going to sit here and stress about it. I think we are in pretty good shape. We are well equipped to replace Artie Burns, even if he is out for the season. I don't know if Artie Burns was even making the team. But if we need to go into this season with someone like a D. Williams or somebody like, both rookie cornerbacks making the team, then we are equipped to do that, and I'm cool with that. So that's pretty good. Special teams was also really good. Made all our field goals, made all our extra points. Dixon had a really good game. Kickoff coverage went better, and we had a punt return go all the way for a touchdown. I don't think it was enough to save D. Williams' job, but he did enough to maybe earn a job on another team in the next couple of weeks here. Maybe we can even trade him. Maybe we'll even be able to get like a 7th round pick for DJ James. I don't know. Okay, so that's basically the quick and dirty rundown of the game last night. So, at this point, I'm basically just going to be interacting with chat for the rest of the stream. Again, it's going to be a shorter stream. I don't think this is going to be as big of a... I don't think this is going to be as big of a stream as the ones that happen right after games, of course, because we've all had like 24 hours to digest this game now. But we're going to do what we can. You guys know the best ways to help me out. Like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want daily Seahawks content. Click the bell for notifications. If you want to go above and beyond that, you can become a channel member. You can see that we are 8 members short of the August goal of 130. We're at 122. Tonight would be a great night to pick up some of those 8 members. We're also about 160 subscribers short of the end of month goal. It's going to be hard to get there, but we can do it. And if you want to donate via Super Chat or tipping via the link near the top of the description, those are also really good ways to support the channel. Let's see here. Who's your receivers that make the 53? Well, it's going to be Metcalf. It's going to be Tyler Lockett. It's going to be JSN. It's going to be Bobo. It's going to be Shenault. It's that last spot that could go one way or the other. I still feel like it's going to be Derek Young because of his flexibility to contribute on offense and special teams. But it would not shock me if it was Cody White or Aesop Winston or even, I guess, D. Eskridge because of his punt returning stuff. But I still think it'll be Derek Young. I do. I think that Derek Young offers some unique skill sets that none of those other players do. And while he didn't exactly show up big time in the last 2 preseason games, I do wonder if part of the reason why that is because we already knew he was going to make the team and didn't feel that he needed to showcase himself the way someone like Aesop Winston or Cody White does. So I would go with that. Is Sheriff the next Levi Bell? That's actually a really good comparison. And I remember many years ago, the Seahawks had a player named Nick Reed who would dominate pass rushing in the preseason. And then he would either not make the team or make the team and do nothing because he just didn't have what it took to excel at the NFL level. But he was good enough to excel at the preseason level. Sheriff and O'Connell were pretty good. Yeah, O'Connell's had a good preseason. I think he'll make the practice squad if we can get him down there, and I think we will. Aesop looked good. I think he will make the team. Aesop is good. I just don't think we have room for him. I just don't think we can make room for it. Remember, Shenault, his contract is almost entirely guaranteed, so letting him go is not realistic. Do you think we have room for Holani? Yes. Most teams carry 4 running backs. So I think we're going to go those 4 running backs, and that's really all there is to it. Yeah, the Nwosu hit, the by Teller, some people are saying it's dirty, some people are saying it isn't. I can see it both ways, personally. It's obviously, I'm not happy about it, but it's full, but I don't know if it was dirty. It's an illegal play, right? It's an illegal play, we know that. I don't know if it's dirty. That's a little bit harder to evaluate, but I'm not happy about it because we should not have been on the field on that play defensively. because Cleveland should have been punting because that was a third down. They didn't get it, and then they get some garbage roughing the passer call. That's not okay. I'm not happy about that. That's the part of it that makes me upset. I know it's preseason and they're playing backups, but even with penalties, Haynes has looked better than Lakin at left guard. Don't think he starts week 1, but maybe early to midseason he gets the nod. I hope. That would be great. I would love to see Haynes start at left guard sooner rather than later. Tomlinson, at best, is going to last just this 1 year, so it's not like there's anything long-term there, and I just don't think he'll be good. I don't think he'll fit this scheme well, and Haynes has looked fairly comfortable at left guard, so I would love that. But he needs to actually be able to handle it, not just we throw him out there ignoring the fact that he can't do it. You should make a post-preseason record prediction. I will, Jack. Believe me. 100% that's going to happen. I will be making a post-preseason prediction. I always plan on doing that. So yeah, I will be doing that, Jack. There was a bunch of Dirty Browns hits that never got flagged. I could believe it. I wasn't too happy with them at various points of that game. Patrick O'Connell gets glazed by the announcers every year. I swear to God. He's only been here. This is only his second year, right? He's probably another one of those guys that looks really good in the preseason. That's it. You think Howell could play well in Grubb's scheme if he has to? I think that he could get the job done. Not that he will, but he could. And that's all you can ask for from a backup quarterback. There aren't enough quarterbacks to go around. So I am happy with what Howell showed in the preseason. Obviously, I don't want him to start. I don't want him to play this year because it probably means that Gino got hurt. But he could. He could. And that's all you can ask for. Sam Howell also got hit in the head a few times while sliding. That never got flagged either. I saw one. I know I saw one that was kind of questionable. I think Aesop makes the team. Derek gets cut. I mean, it's possible, Mason. It's totally possible. I'm not ruling anything out. I just think that Derek Young offers more on special teams. Might play Drake May week 2 with Jacoby injury. Yeah, I saw that, Tuck. By the way, Drake Young, I think, looks really good. I'm impressed with what I'm seeing from Drake May. Who's Drake Young? I don't know why I said Drake Young, but Drake May, I think, looks really good tonight. I really like what I see from him. Obviously, it'll be different against a starting defense, but I think that guy's pretty good. I think that guy's looking sharp. Who was the best tackler from this game? I don't know. Honestly, I was impressed with the Pritchett and DJ James tackling, and those are not good tacklers, so I was impressed. Does Radigan make the cut, just seems to make plays? I think he does. I think we have 5 linebackers. I think we have 5 inside linebackers. Am I crazy for thinking Lockett might not break 500 yards? I think he'll break 500, but maybe not by much. I think it's totally believable that he becomes a part-time player. I think it's completely reasonable to assume that he's just going to be like a situational player, and we're going to look to, on a more, snap-to-snap basis, it's going to be Bobo instead of him, and Lockett's just kind of saved for certain situations, maybe. I love your videos, B. Keep it up. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. What position group could Seattle make a trade to bolster? At this point, I don't think we're going to do anything like that, Charlie. I think we already made our linebacker trade. Defensive line is fine, unless Cameron Young's out for the season or something, I guess. And safety, I mean, the Rayshon Jenkins injury hurts, but I don't think you're going to do anything significant here. You're not going to get anybody that much better than Ty Okada or Marquise Blair. Sheriff or Caesar gets the spot. I still think Caesar's a better player, but maybe Sheriff did enough. I don't know. Any updates on Abe Lucas? No, we haven't heard anything in a while about Abe Lucas, so I got nothing to add there. You think Sean Payton has Nix throw short all game? I wouldn't expect that. That's too predictable. And Nix does have a big arm. It's not like he can't do it. Speaking of Drake, I loved what I saw from Drake Thomas. I just don't think we have room for him on the team. I like him, but we'll try to get him on the practice squad. Tariq Young hasn't done one thing to make this team or last year's team. He's not NFL material. He's a good special teamer, though. That's going to help. That special team stuff matters. Oh, Joe Milton taking off. Joe Milton, he's gone. Okay, no, he's not gone, but that was a good run. That's exciting. Joe Milton's fun. Is there any chance Bobo takes the wide receiver 3 slot? I love Lockett. Well, the slot receiver is going to be JSN. JSN's a slot receiver, so he's not taking JSN's slot spot. I know that. I could see him maybe becoming wide receiver 3, but I don't know. I think people are pushing the Bobo thing way too far, way too fast. I think people are pushing the Bobo thing too quickly here. He's going to be a lot less effective if you play him too much. There is a diminishing return point with these players, and just because a player looks really good on like 20 snaps a game doesn't mean he's going to be that effective on 50 snaps a game. So I'm just being very, very careful with the Bobo thing. I think people are a little too excited right now. Pull it back a little bit. He doesn't need to be on the field as much as some people seem to want. You got to be careful. Mike got these guys right in tackling. They're all flying down. The way we're rallying to the ball in the preseason does look very different, doesn't it? Oh, Zach. Looks like you just became a basic member. Thank you, Zach, for the membership. Welcome aboard. Unless that was... Hold on. I'm sorry. That might be a member message that is not showing up on Restream. Let me jump over to... Okay, no. Welcome to basic membership, Zach. I don't know why... I don't know why that didn't get caught by the pop-up creator, but it should have. How many touchdowns do you predict for Geno? Like, I made a video with that about a month ago, Jackson. I can't remember what I said. It might have been like 25 or 26. What happened to Jenkins? Will he be back? We don't know yet, but it sounds like it's not that bad. Trade Draymond Jones, Trey Brown, and D. Eskridge. Maybe you could get a 7th round pick for D. Eskridge now. I don't know. Maybe. Can't hurt to try. But Draymond Jones's contract makes him untradeable, and we're not going to trade Trey Brown when we traded Mike Jackson. It was one or the other, I think, and we decided to trade Mike Jackson. So I think it's going to be Trey Brown as your 3rd corner. Mike Morris, I think, has had the most snaps of any player this whole preseason. Any reason in particular for that? Probably because he didn't play last year, really. So this is like, it's almost like he's a rookie again. And he played really well. He looks really good. Like, he looks ready to go. He looks ready to rumble. I'm excited about that. We said Lockett was a slot guy too when he got here. JSN can do it all. I don't remember that, Ricky. When Lockett got here, I remember listening to some of the pundits who were comparing him to NFL players. One guy actually said Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown's not a pure slot receiver. So... yeah, I mean, JSN's skill set clearly lends itself best to the slot. That doesn't mean that's the only thing he can do, but that's where he should take most of his snaps for sure. Knight looked really good. Yeah, he did. I'm really happy with what Tyrese Knight is doing. I'm really happy. And I didn't expect much. I thought he was going to look lost out there, but he has not. Thank you, Board Skylar. Seattle will keep 5, 6, or 7 receivers. I think 6. Most teams keep 6. I don't know if you saw, but when PJ threw that pick, they showed Grubb for a split set. Yeah, I saw that, Jackson. I mean, that was like the Madden lurk interception, right? Where you are usering the inside linebacker, and then he just kind of drops back after the pass is thrown, and the user just doesn't see it coming. They call it the user lurk interception. I forgot Bobo ran a 4.99. It must have been a really bad day for him, or it was like wet. More like Pete Carroll was smiling for Eskridge. I say trade Eskridge. I don't think there's any way he makes this team. Either he's getting traded or he's getting cut. There's no way. Do you think Shenault's Debo type of skill set allows us to keep 3 running backs? I mean, the thing is, Mason, he already indicated he doesn't want to play running back, Mace. Did Shenault. So I don't know how much you can lean on that. So I think you got to carry 4. And I think you got to keep Helani. So I don't look at it that way. Maybe it was a good idea, but he doesn't want to do it. Mike Morris had like 5 pressures in that game, Ricky. I don't know what more he could have done. Mike Morris has had a really good preseason overall. He couldn't have done much more. No, I haven't heard anything concrete about Nwosu yet, Chris. Who did you like better, Mike Jackson or Trey Brown as an overall player? I mean, Jackson was a little bit better, but Trey Brown has more potential. I saw a roster prediction and didn't see Big Abe Lucas. Why is that injury? They probably had him listed on the IR. They probably think he'll start the season on IR, which is a reasonable bet at this point. I think Trey Brown will surprise some people this season. I mean, he'll get to play a pretty decent amount now, that's for sure. So, believable. Coach also loves Morris. I'm pretty sure he was with him for 1 year at Michigan. Yeah, that sounds correct. That sounds correct. Okay, I don't know why the pop-up didn't work for the new membership, but yeah, there should have been a pop-up for Zach's membership. Let me do it manually real quick here. Or maybe the pop-up worked, but the bar didn't increment. There we go. I just incremented it manually. Sorry about that, everybody. Did you see Matty Brown hated the Taylor trade and now he thinks with the Nwosu injury we're screwed? I did see that. The thing is, I don't think Taylor was making the team. I just don't. So I don't think there's anything to get mad about. Seattle has cut 2 no-name players. Who, Shannon? Who do you like better, Kenny or George? I think Kenny's a little more interesting, more of a unique skill set. That is 4 weeks. I think it's 3 weeks, Austin. Lucas hasn't done much. You think he'll be available for any time during the season? I'm sure he'll come back at some point. The question is, when he comes back, how long is he going to be there? What are you thinking about at middle linebacker? I think we'll be okay. Remember, we haven't seen any Jerome Baker yet, and he's supposed to be our best inside linebacker. Who out of our rookies looked the best? Out of our rookies, who looked the best? Probably Byron Murphy, just off the strength of that first game, but you can make a really good argument for Tyrese Knight. It's not like Taylor was a great pass rush specialist either. He had like 1 move. He was not a great pass rusher. He had moments, but I would not call him great at all. And remember, Draymond Jones is going to play some edge this year, so that 4th edge player on this team would do very little. And remember, guys like Mike Morris can play a little bit on the edge. Guys like Leonard Williams can play a little bit on the edge. So they're going to do some unique stuff this season that means that 4th edge probably wouldn't even get to play, really. I don't see anything about them cutting the 2 players. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything either. You don't trade Taylor Jackson for 6, 7 round picks if you think they would make the team. They weren't. I think Jackson would have made the team, but we didn't need him. I think maybe they were going to cut DJ James, and now they get to keep DJ James, and that's cheaper, right? DJ James has a little more upside. Murphy, too, even could go edge. Big Cat's been there, too. Some, too, in practices as well. Yeah, you can do some creative stuff there to make it so that edge player never really gets out there. It's not that hard. Any reason why Charbonnet didn't play yesterday? I don't think we need to see him. I think we needed to see McIntosh and Halani. Didn't need to see Charbonnet because we know he's making the team. I mean, Matt Davis, there wasn't any real way out of that contract. And also, McDonald does have big plans for Draymond this year. And I could see it absolutely working a lot better this year compared to what we saw in 2023. So I'm going to keep an open mind there. There wasn't really a way out of the Draymond Jones contract. So we're kind of stuck. But I mean, we restructured his deal, so we must see something that we like with him. They did say they've only implemented 5% of the defense in preseason as well. I find that kind of hard to believe, Zach. Like, I could believe there's not a lot, but there was quite a bit of stuff they showed. And to say 5%, I think sounds like an arbitrary random number that they just pulled out. I don't know if that really means anything of value. Patriots are getting beat up in this game a little bit. Ellis. Now, I don't know if Ellis, I mean, it's not like he's super important, but it feels like there's been a lot of Patriot injuries today. I don't know how impactful any of them will be. Oh, Giants fans are freaking out. What happened to the Giants? Oh, the Jets game. They kind of got beat up a little bit. Has there been any word on the Uchenna situation, Vic? Nothing of meaning. Not yet. Patriots going to have the #1 pick this year? Maybe. Maybe. I could see that. Did Aaron Rodgers play any preseason football this year? He didn't, right? Man, he's going to go out there and get killed by the Niners week 1, isn't he? They're just going to murder him and he's going to like sleepwalk through that game. God dang it. You know the Niners are going to be at their weakest at the start of the year too, right? When they don't have Ayuk. So we need them to actually take some L's early because eventually they're either going to get Ayuk or they're going to get some other like Amari Cooper type veteran receiver. Yeah, no Rodgers in the preseason. Yeah, that's going to be too bad. Hey, Lazy Dog, what's up? Remember last year when Dan Quinn tried to put Bland on an island on DK and he scored 3 touchdowns? You know, I've seen some pretty extreme blitzing from Washington's defense tonight, which is not very Dan Quinn-like. I was like, what's up with that, man? I feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to be worse than everyone's expecting. Yeah, I'm not high on that one. He wasn't that good a year ago, 2 years ago. You don't think Niners are getting that deal done? Probably not in time for the first game. It's probably too late, right? Even if he signs this week, they might hold him out for that first game. Like CeeDee Lamb. If CeeDee Lamb gets signed this week, is he going to play week 1? They might hold him out. Week 1, they play the Browns anyway. They should be able to win that game regardless, but like you don't want to throw a guy out there when he hasn't even been practicing all off season. The Patriots, Giants, Chargers, and Chargers will be better than that. Chargers got Harbaugh. Now, I think the Panthers are going to be really bad this year. I could see the Panthers being down there. Commanders are giving Sean Taylor a statue. I saw that. You know, the Sean Taylor death was one of those celebrity deaths that really affected me for some reason. That one got to me somehow. It was weird. It actually, like... I remember when it happened, and there was something about it that just got to me, man. I'm not sure how you feel about him, but it just occurred to me that Jalen Milroe should be running the same offense as us this year. At worst, he could be a Walmart Lamar. Yeah, I don't think anything of Milroe. I watched a lot of tape of him because I watched the Auburn-Alabama game a bunch because of DJ James and Nehemiah Pritchett playing in that game, and I think he's garbage, but maybe he'll get better this year. CD is good enough that he could dominate with F at CDs down there somewhere plays. Yeah, maybe, but you don't want him to get hurt. You streaming the Huskies on Saturday? That's the plan. That's the plan, Jackson. Did you cry during the Sean Taylor death? No, it wasn't that. It was just one of those deaths that made me think about how delicate life is because, you know, Sean Taylor was a physical specimen that you only see once every few years. Like, you usually don't see guys like Sean Taylor. Like that guy was an absolute physical freak, and somebody still killed him, right? Like, he still died. Like, he still got killed. That just makes you think, you know, it's one of those that makes you think, like, it can happen to him, it can happen to anybody. Where's Travis Hunter going? He's probably a top 3 pick, right? Yeah, Travis Hunter's going to be a really high pick, so I don't know, maybe he goes to a team like the Panthers. Cardinals. Could be something like that. Rumor has it that Seattle's making at least one more trade for a defensive lineman, nose guard. Well, maybe if Cam Young's injured long term, that's the only way I think it could happen. Unless Cam Young's going to be out for most of the season. I don't think that makes any real sense. Dion said he decides where Hunter and Shadur go. I don't know why he thinks he could dictate that. I have no idea why he thinks he could possibly have that kind of power. I saw a mock the other day where he was mocked to us at 15. I don't think he gets down to 15 at all. But we'll see. It could happen. I'm open to all possibilities. What position is your most worthy right now? I don't know what you mean, Matt. I'm not sure what you're referring to here. I'm in a Seattle Seahawks group on Facebook, and this one just posts endless fake clickbait crap. Like, Mike McDonald just got divorced from his wife. It's like, who cares? And that's probably not even true, and if it is true, who cares? Knock it off. Oh, Ridgeway. I remember him from the draft mask. Hassan Ridgeway, I think. I think I know who you're talking about. Okay. I mean, if it's somebody who's going to be super cheap, then why not? But I'd just wait for cutdown day. Ridgeway's not going to be that much better than anybody who's available on cutdown day. Do we have more or less wins this year than last year? I think we do better. I think we're better. I'm in that garbage page too. Yeah, Zach. It's not great. But what's your biggest worry position? Oh, Probably left guard. I'm going to stick to left guard here. I'm going to say left guard. Devin Richardson and Willie Roberts. All right, two guys that never were going to make the team. Happy trails. Makes sense to me. Would you be interested in Siaki Ika from Cleveland? They say he'll get cut. Yeah, if he gets cut, that's a guy who I kept an eye on in the draft. I didn't like him that much, but he's certainly worth being picked up for free. Yeah, I will do that all day. It's not, we don't need that much from a nose tackle. We have Hankins. Reed might play a little nose. Murphy might play a little nose. Cam Young. It's not like we have some pressing need for a nose tackle. Maybe we just need a few more snaps a game. Who from the 2022 draft class remains on their team after the rookie deal? I'd be very surprised if we didn't keep Cross. Mafe we're probably keeping. I don't think we're keeping Woolen. Walker I can go either way on. Who's your favorite backer in the draft? You mean linebacker? Shoot. Hold on. I'm going to have to go look. Edger and Cooper, probably. Oh, it says watch along stream? My bad. Hold on. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Hey, Carmine. What's the going rate for a left tackle? Oh, yeah. Cross will probably get a bag if he plays well this year, but that's what left tackles cost. Like, do you want a good offensive line or not? Brendan, are you playing fantasy this year? Yeah, I did my draft yesterday. I'm only doing one fantasy league, though. Is not retaining Woolen just a money thing? Well, yeah. We already have to pay Witherspoon. And Witherspoon's probably going to get like $120 million in a couple years. So how can we spend 100 or whatever it's going to be for Woolen, like 90 million on Woolen and then 120 million on Witherspoon? You can't do that. You can't spend that kind of money at one position. So you're going to have to make a decision there. And I think Witherspoon's a much better player than Woolen. If we spend that kind of money at one position, then we're not going to have enough money to do the other things we need to do. We keep both and grab a rookie quarterback. All right, what happens when you need to pay the rookie quarterback? What happens when you have to pay Mafe? What happens when you have to pay Cross? What happens when you have to pay Metcalf again? What happens when you have to pay JSN? If Geno plays great, would you trade him for a Russ type capital? Nobody's going to give us Russ type capital for Geno. His reputation just isn't there. His rep just isn't there. I would be able to trade. I would be willing to trade him for the right return, but we'll figure that out later this season. Have you heard anything about Tyler? I don't think I've read a thing about him all camp. My friend thinks he's retiring now. I'd be very surprised if he retired now. I think he's just taking a lot of days off from practice because he doesn't need to practice that much. So I think that we are probably just looking at a situation where he's not going to play a ton this year, but we're going to get what we can out of him when he's out there, and it's going to be cool. It's going to be fine. Have any players got released yet? I don't think so. Herbicide. Thoughts on Donovan Jackson? I wasn't impressed last year, but we'll see what happens this year. We're going to definitely be open-minded there, give him a chance. Byron Murphy only played a few snaps, Carmine, so if you didn't see him, that's why. Doesn't really mean anything. How do we manage cap space in the LOB era? We had the cheapest offensive line in football, basically. We spent no money on the offensive line, and we also spent, well, at first we were able to spend very little money at quarterback. Do you think Derek Young makes the team? I do, Static. I think Derek Young makes the team. I think his special teams value is going to override some of the other stuff, and I think he makes it over Aesop and Cody White and Eskridge. But I don't think it's a gimme anymore. I don't think it's a guarantee anymore. No problem, Mask. I think my best guess is that Lockett retires. After this season. Mike Morris was playing late in the game last night, which makes me believe he might get cut. I don't think we could make ends meet on the defensive line if we cut Mike Morris. Like, I'm skeptical about that. Number one, Mike Morris has played really well in the preseason, but number two, like, he's a Michigan guy, so he's got a connection to McDonald. And yeah, I don't know if I see that one. Oh, Dark Hollow, thank you for the $20 super chat. Thanks, Brendan, for all your content getting us through the dark times of the off season. Thank you, Dark Hollow. I mean, you do what you can, right? You do what you can, and you just hope that it's enough to keep people engaged. And it's tough sometimes. It's a seasonal sport, in part, even though there are elements to it that go all the way around. And why are the stream elements pop-ups not working at all right now? But yeah, thank you, Dark Hollow, for that $20 super chat. Maybe eventually restream, or excuse me, stream elements will show the pop-up. But maybe it's just not feeling like doing it tonight. But thank you, Dark Hollow, for that first donation of the stream. Mike Morris got hurt in game 1, yes. Gravy Train. And he did not play again that year. Will you make videos in the upcoming 2 weeks analyzing our division rivals before the upcoming season? Maybe, Eugenio, maybe. Not 100%. It depends on if I have the time for it or not. It depends on if I have the space to fill. Watching your PFF videos has completely changed my faith in their grading system. I keep up with a few tape grinders who think they're a joke. I mean, they get stuff clearly wrong, like objectively, obviously, and undeniably wrong, and you have to wonder why. Would you consider playing Wukong on Twitch? Oh, I'm going to play Wukong eventually. I just don't want to play it right now, but I will. I'm already playing the Demon Souls remake. I don't want to play another game like that at the same time. That's going to annoy me, you know? Thoughts on Michael Barrett? I think he's worth what we got. I think he's worth what we gave up for him. And yeah, I'm cool with it. I think he'll be passable depth, and that's all you can ask for right now. Prediction video coming soon. Yeah, there will definitely be a prediction video. Got to reevaluate after the preseason. Yeah, I would be surprised if Morris is cut. If Morris is cut, that implies that we're bringing in another defensive lineman. And who are you going to get right now that's better than Morris? I doubt there's anything available better than Mike Morris. I mean, we should have learned our lesson last year. A big problem with the team last year is that our top defensive linemen had to play the whole season, and we never gave them a break. They had to play 90% of the snaps sometimes, it felt like. So keeping somebody like Mike Morris is going to help alleviate that. Laviska is one of the most important players on the team. Oh, I agree, Michael. I mean, obviously he's not as important as the stars on the team or anything like that, but he's going to be a lot of fun, and having him around is going to be a big boon. I'm really excited for that. Yes, Austin, I'm going to be doing those videos every week, I think. I might add another couple of weekly traditional videos, like the PFF stuff, because people seem to really dig that. Eskridge, nobody's been cut yet, Jake, to my knowledge. Eskridge is still here for the moment. We don't have to make any decisions yet. We will. Any chance Connor plays guard this year? He doesn't seem like he wants to. He wants to play center. Still nothing on Nwosu. We were told we would have more information today. Who will the Levi Bell of this year's team be? A guy who does pretty well in the preseason. PFF loves him and still gets cut. I think it's very obviously Jamie Sheriff. That's basically a one-to-one comparison. Yeah, I think that Jamie Sheriff is very obviously the guy who everyone gets excited for in preseason, and then he doesn't make the team, and people wonder why. And, I mean, I think rushing the passer in the preseason is just so much easier compared to the regular season. All right, touchdown Washington. Kev Will, welcome to Basic Membership. And yeah, sorry guys, Stream Elements is just conked out today. I don't know what the heck is going on. I'm going to update it manually. But for some reason, StreamYard is just not... I'm sorry, not StreamYard. Stream Elements is just not doing anything. I heard we won't hear anything on the injuries until at least Monday. Well, that's tomorrow, so I would be very confused if we didn't find out about the injuries tomorrow. That'd be weird. I know, Jake. I've watched people play it. All right, what game do you see Connor starting as our center? Oh, I think he'll start week 1. I think he's starting against the Broncos. They need someone else to run jet sweeps besides Laviska because it might be too obvious what they are doing when he's in the game. DK, Tyler, JSN, or Bobo hopefully can run those plays too. Oh, man. Off the top of my head, I wouldn't expect any of those guys to be particularly good at it, but we've not seen them do it, so it's an interesting thought. Hey, War Chief. Will there be cuts tomorrow, or do they wait until Tuesday? I'm sure we're going to see some stuff tomorrow. Seems like they are going to run the ball less this year. I mean, I think they'll run it more because they'll be playing with the lead more. right? They're not going to have this terrible defense forcing them to throw the ball the whole game, but they're going to run the ball less than you would expect given the situations they'll be in. Like in neutral situations, they're probably going to throw the ball a lot, which I'm good with. I like that. No, I'm not worried about giving up 33 points to the Browns. It's preseason. The starters played one drive. Like, who were the guys responsible for giving up points? Vast majority of them were backups, third stringers, fourth stringers. Why get upset about any of that? Sai Dude, welcome to Basic Membership. Thank you for joining the channel. Appreciate it. So I think that gets us up to 125. So 5 more and we hit the end of month goal. Again, I am sorry that Stream Elements has decided to take today off. There's nothing that I can do about it. Hopefully it's just a one-day thing. All right, Washington's got the lead now with 9 minutes left. I was disappointed. I thought we were going to get to see some Jaden Daniels tonight, and we have not. Yeah, DJ James was impressive out there with his tackling, I think. And that's his weakness as a player. He got beat up in coverage a little bit, but overall, I was happy with what I saw from DJ James. Oh my God, look at that Joe Milton arm. Oh, he had him. Oh, he had Landers. He had Landers for the 6, and he missed him. Well, players don't go into the Hall of Fame as a player on a team, War Chief. They just go in individually. That's in baseball where you go in as a member of a team. But Bobby's definitely getting in first ballot. Like, how could he not? He's one of the most prolific inside linebackers in NFL history. How does he not go to the Hall of Fame? He's going into the Hall of Fame on roller skates. I think there may be more roster churn than we expect come cutdowns. It's possible, Brian. I don't know. I mean, it was a pretty good preseason. Wouldn't you be pretty happy with most of the stuff that you got? You would think, right? This is why I don't believe Bobo is a lock. I like Bobo, but they really could use another wide out besides Lavishka that can run those plays. Bobo's just so good at like blocking stuff too, though. He has so much utility. I don't think that's a realistic possibility of letting him go. I think Bobo's a lock. I really do. No, we got nothing on Nwosu yet. There was one Twitter doctor that speculated that he could be out for like a month, but he was just guessing based on what he saw on tape. He had no real evidence to back it up. Oh, is that Landers? Is Landers gone? No. Big play, though. Yeah, Pete's teaching a college class. I should make a video about that. Then again, I don't really care. I'd be very surprised if Bobo didn't make this team. Remember, he's been one of the studs in camp so far. Man, Milton has a nice arm. Oh, jeez. Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe Milton. Get it done. Uh, Oh, Milton had him. Yeah, Bobo does special team stuff too. Do we keep PJ Walker? He'll maybe make the practice squad, but there's no way he's on the roster. He's not a rosterable quarterback. He's garbage. But he does have an NFL arm, and he would be annoying to play against as a defense because of his mobility. He just chooses to not use it far too often. But there's no way PJ makes the roster. What do you think of the new kickoff rules? I like them a lot, actually, Corey. I'm really interested to see how they change the game. I like them a lot. I think it's a great idea to try to bring back that part of the game. I'd take Malik Willis on our practice squad. Oh, how can you drop that? That was the game. Get the F off my team, number 35. I mean, it's not a perfect throw, but you got to catch that. All right, so New England going for it on 4th down. There's like, what, 6 minutes left in this game. Do you have any Hawks jerseys? I have a couple. I'm not a big jersey guy. Come on, Milton. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. No, dude. What are you doing? There's an flag down. You think penalty is going to be an issue with this team? Yeah, I do, Jake. I think we're going to have a lot of penalties this year. And I think we're just going to have to live with it. What will the Huskies do this year? I think they win like either 6 or 7 games. I think they make 6 or 7 games. Wouldn't Malik have to get cut and not put on the practice squad? Right. But they may not like him. They may think like he's no good because he does suck, but at least he's a fun athlete. War Chief, what are you talking about? You do realize only 4 teams make the playoff, and like 60 teams make a bowl game. I think you got that backwards. But anyway, I think we make a bowl game. Okay, top 12 for the playoff now. Yeah, we're not doing that either. But I think we make a bowl game. I'd take DTR if he gets cut over PJ. DTR is all right. Yeah. Yeah, McDonald will keep them more accountable on penalties, but it's a brand new offense and a brand new defense. I think that learning curve is going to be a big problem. It's a 12-team playoff? Oh, okay. Well, we're still not going to make it. All right, guys, we've been streaming for about an hour now, so I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. People are starting to trickle out anyway. I will be on Twitch a little later, probably doing Dead Rising 2 co-op with my friend. So if you want to come watch Dead Rising 2 co-op, then head on over there. We're not too deep into it, so should be fun. Hope to see you guys there. If not, videos tomorrow. You guys know the drill. Maybe I'll do another stream once we get an idea what the 53-man roster looks like. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Great stream. Appreciate the support. Yeah, now we just got to wait to see what happens with this roster.